Davante Adams leaving the Rams to join the Dallas Cowboys and wearing the iconic number 88 would be one of the most talked about, shocking, and legacy-defining moves in recent NFL history. Not only would it shake up two of the league's most popular franchises, but it would also bring a wave of speculation, excitement, controversy, and hope all at once. Just the image of Adams, one of the most technically gifted and respected wide receivers in the modern era, stepping onto the field at AT&T Stadium wearing 88, a number worn by Cowboys legends like Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, and Dez Bryant, would electrify the fanbase and send a message across the entire league. Adams is not just another receiver, he's a symbol of consistency, elite footwork, and precision. Even as he enters the later stages of his career, his ability to separate from defenders, make contested catches, and perform in high-pressure situations remains world-class. So, if a move like this were to happen, Adams departing the Rams and stepping into the pressure cooker that is Cowboys Nation, it wouldn't just be about stats or football. It would be about narrative, identity, and legacy. The story would begin with rumors. Maybe there'd be a few leaks about dissatisfaction in Los Angeles, or perhaps whispers that the Cowboys were looking for another elite target to line up opposite CeeDee Lamb. And then boom, the news drops. Davante Adams signs with the Cowboys, and it's announced he will wear the number 88. Fans across the NFL would lose their minds. Cowboys fans would be split, some ecstatic, remembering the star power and legacy of Irvin and Dez and hoping Adams can bring them back to Super Bowl relevance, others skeptical, worrying about whether this was a smart move for a team that has often been accused of chasing headlines over substance. And of course, the rest of the NFL would either laugh, cry, or just shake their heads at America's team pulling off another blockbuster move. For Adams, the decision to come to Dallas wouldn't be made lightly. He'd be leaving a Rams organization that likely gave him an opportunity to resurrect his career after a frustrating stint with the Raiders and then the Jets. He may have found a new rhythm in Los Angeles, possibly developing chemistry with their quarterback and enjoying the West Coast lifestyle. But maybe, in the back of his mind, Adams always had a desire to play for a historic franchise like Dallas, a team with a massive national following, primetime attention nearly every week, and one of the most loyal fanbases in sports. Maybe he saw the 88 jersey not just as a number, but as a challenge. A mantle to carry, a symbol that he, too, belongs in the elite pantheon of NFL wide receivers. For someone as accomplished as Adams, it wouldn't be about money or even stats anymore, it would be about legacy. Could he come to Dallas and do what Dez and Irvin did before him? Could he be the missing piece that finally helps the Cowboys get over the hump and return to the Super Bowl? On the field, the implications of Adams joining the Cowboys would be enormous. The Cowboys' offense, already dangerous with CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, or whichever back emerges, and Dak Prescott under center, would now have another elite threat. Adams can run every route in the tree, demands double coverage, and forces defenses to gameplan specifically around him. His presence would open up more opportunities for Lamb to operate from the slot or draw less attention on the outside. Tight ends would find more space. The running game could thrive with safeties having to stay back. Prescott would suddenly have a 1A and A1B receiver, an embarrassment of riches in the passing game. Adams thrives in high-leverage moments. Third and long? He'll beat man coverage. Red zone? He's getting separation even in tight spaces. Late in the fourth quarter? He'll make that clutch catch on the sideline to keep the drive alive. That kind of reliability changes games and changes seasons. In the locker room, Adams brings a wealth of experience, a strong work ethic, and a mature presence. Having played with Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, and a variety of quarterbacks, he's seen what it takes to win and what it looks like when organizations fall short. His leadership style is more about showing than telling. He's a professional's professional. Young receivers would have a model to emulate. The coaching staff would have another voice to lean on, someone who knows how to study film, who understands coverage disguises, who can help break down defensive tendencies. He wouldn't need to dominate the locker room with volume, his track record would do the talking. If things got tense in December, Adams is the kind of guy who doesn't flinch. That sort of stability can be the difference in tight divisional games or playoff pushes. But of course, there would be pressure. Wearing 88 in Dallas is not for the faint of heart. That number carries history and expectations. Cowboys fans will remember Dez Bryant's passion, Irvin's intensity, and Pearson's clutch gene. They'll expect Adams to continue that tradition. One bad game and the critics will pounce. Is he really worthy of 88? If the Cowboys fall short in the playoffs, it'll be, did Adams live up to the hype? There's a microscope on every player in Dallas, but for a star wearing that number, the scrutiny multiplies. Adams would have to navigate that with grace and maturity, knowing that everything he does will be compared to legends. Financially, the move would be tricky. Adams is still under contract, and prying him away from the Rams would either require a blockbuster trade or some kind of mutual agreement to move on, perhaps due to fit, cap space, or a new direction for LA. The Cowboys would need to maneuver their salary cap wisely. They've already got big contracts on the books and may need to make sacrifices elsewhere to bring in Adams. But Jerry Jones has never been shy about spending on stars, and if he sees a shot at a Super Bowl, he'll take it. The question would be, is the price worth it? Would Dallas give up draft capital or depth to bring in a 30-something wideout who may only have 2-3 elite years left? That's a gamble, but one that might pay off if the chemistry clicks immediately. The media would have a field day. Sports talk shows would spend weeks debating whether the move made Dallas the team to beat in the NFC. Pundits would dig into every quote, every practice report, every game stat. ESPN, NFL Network, local Dallas media, they'd all latch on to the Adams 88 narrative like sharks smelling blood in the water. And Adams, being a relatively reserved and focused player, might have to adjust to the constant spotlight that comes with being a Dallas Cowboy. Every dropped pass would trend on Twitter. Every touchdown would dominate highlight reels. Every sideline conversation would be dissected for drama. And then there's the legacy question. Let's say Adams comes in, balls out, and helps the Cowboys reach an NFC championship game, or even the Super Bowl. He scores big touchdowns, becomes a fan favorite, leads by example. Suddenly, the conversation shifts. Instead of just being remembered as a Packers legend, Adams becomes part of Cowboys folklore. He'd go down in NFL history as a player who wore 2 iconic uniforms and excelled in both. The risk? If things don't pan out, if injuries hit, or he can't get in sync with Doc, or if the Cowboys flame out again in the wildcard round, then the move could be remembered as a flashy mistake. The kind of thing that Dallas has been criticized for in the past: big names, big headlines, but no postseason results. Still, it's impossible to deny how thrilling the idea is. Davante Adams, wearing 88, running crisp routes across the middle in front of 90,000 fans in Arlington, catching touchdowns on Thanksgiving, dominating in primetime, playing with fire in December. The visual writes itself. NFL films would eat it up. The jerseys would fly off shelves. And maybe, just maybe, this would be the move that finally pushes the Cowboys back into true contention. Maybe Adams would be the player who leads the next great Dallas run. Not just a footnote, but a chapter. A legacy built in Green Bay, revived in LA, and crowned in Dallas. And ultimately, that's what makes this storyline so captivating. Because while NFL teams talk about building through the draft, developing talent, managing the cap, it's these big, bold, dramatic moves that make football more than just a game. It's stories like this that make the NFL what it is: unpredictable, emotional, and larger than life. Davante Adams wearing 88 in Dallas isn't just about catches and yards. It's about belief, history, and chasing greatness. Whether it happens or not, just imagining it reminds us why we love this sport in the first place.